highlights channel of the Ranveer Show. This is TRS Clips.
Through the podcast, I've been learning a lot about every single school of Indian thought, different religions as well. Within Hinduism, different schools of thoughts. Everything points towards nirvana or moksha, enlightenment, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure that's something you've thought about. Parallelly, if you just take yourself out of your life right now and what you're doing with the world, we are taking ancient wisdom, all of which points to that same goal of the journey for your soul. It ends with nirvana. It's when you go beyond this realm and you're not born back. Do you think about that for yourself? Maybe in your old age?
Yeah, often. I mean, I think about what will happen to what I've been calling my first self. So I believe we have multiple selves. If you think about your current iteration, almost like how we have like Apple 2.0, Apple 3.0, 4.0, like, iPhone 14 we're on now, whatever it is, like that idea of, but there was once an original iPhone and there was once an original us, the original self, the first self. But we've added so many personalities. We've added doctor, lawyer, banker, engineer. We've added relevant, cool, young. We've added podcaster, videographer, editor, artist. We've added so many selves and personalities. But there's a first self. There's an original self. There's a consciousness. And I often think about beyond death, what will happen to that consciousness, because we believe that the consciousness existed before this body, the consciousness exists in this body, and the consciousness will continue to exist after this body. And I often think what will happen with that, and like you said, there are many different theories or many different concepts of what can happen. But to me, the biggest thing that I've taken away through my study is that the nature of the consciousness is more important than what happens to the consciousness. Because what happens, we will have to wait and see, right? We'll have to wait and experience. But the nature of the consciousness is to serve. The nature of the consciousness is to help. The nature of the consciousness is to care with compassion and empathy. When you look at the whole universe, everything that is made universally is always serving. The sun is serving us. Water is serving us. Trees are serving us. The animals are serving each other and serving the trees back. Everything is working in perfect synergy of service. And it's only when a human takes themselves out of that synergy where we become the problem, right? You think about some of the problems that exist on planet Earth today. It's all because we're not thinking about serving. We're thinking about controlling and owning and dominating. And so I think, to me, I try and lean in more closely to that mindset and practice that mindset of how can I connect with the service nature of the consciousness, because that is something I'm sure about. That's something I can be confident about.
Do you think about your next life?
All the time. Yeah. I mean, I don't think about, so I'll add a caveat. I don't think too much about my past lives because I think it can get messy. I know several friends who've done past life regressions or past life hypnosis, or they've gone through these practices. I'm not interested in where I was before.
Have you tried?
I've never tried. Out of choice, because I don't want to add more chaos than there already is. Like life is already complex in my opinion. I'm not, if anyone wants to do it, you can go and do it. To me, my mind already has enough things to think about. I don't need to add more past lives and things to that. I think for me, the spiritual traditions that we both take so much solace in and so much connection to talk about that nirvana or that heaven or that moksha is the eternal relationship with the divine. It's an eternal relationship. It's not a physical place. And it can be a physical place, but beyond a physical place, it's a personal relationship with divinity. And so to me, I'm more interested in constructing that relationship with the divine as opposed to simply trying to go to a place, if that makes sense.
Would you want to live as a monk again? I won't be surprised if the answer is yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would want to. I think I would want to be wherever I can best serve. That's what I've realized.
Okay.
Be where you can best serve, because there was a time in my life where being a monk was the best way I could serve. But now if I was to go back there, maybe that wouldn't be service. Maybe that would be selfishness, because it would be so personally motivated. But actually, where I am right now is where I can serve the most from. It's almost like saying, you know, every seed grows into a tree. But if the tree says, I want to be a seed again, but the seed doesn't serve as much as a tree does. The tree gives shelter, it gives fruits, it plants so many new seeds. And I think all of us have to go through that journey of going from seeds to trees.
So these are playlists made especially for you. We've tailor-made learning experiences for you on TRS Clips.